The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm your host, Patrick Cristiano, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs in New York City and the Hamptons. We cover Broadway and off-Broadway openings as well as social events here in the Hamptons and New York. And today we have a really special guest, a Broadway, off-Broadway producer, Tony award-winning producer, Pat Addiss. Pat, thank you so much for coming.
I'm so glad to be out here.
Oh.
We used to live in Quogue, so it's been a memory trip coming out.
Well, you have had some incredible career. Little Women was the first show you produced.
Right.
A Dancer's Life with Chita Rivera.
Okay.
Shout, which was off-Broadway. Bridge and Tunnel with Sarah Jones. Spring Awakening, it was a fabulous show. And Passing Strange, another fabulous one. 39 Steps.
Keep
Vanya,
going.
Sonia, Marcia, and Spike, another Tony Award-winning show.
Yep.
Love Letters.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
a very important one, A Christmas Story, the musical. We gave Benj and Justin their start, and we were up for 3 Tony nominations, the only holiday show ever to be nominated for 3 Tonys.
It was a dynamite
And
show.
that was the year I won Vanya, Sonia, Marcia, and Spike.
You're up against yourself.
Well, not really, because one was a play and one was a musical.
I'll see. Different categories. Categories.
So anyway, that was an exciting year for me.
And now you have this show here, Desperate Measures, which is the little darling of the season.
Well,
you won the Outer Critics Circle Award, right?
Right.
You won lyrics and music at the Drama Desk Awards, and you won the Off-Broadway Alliance Best Musical Off-Broadway.
Correct.
You're the
and
darling.
we also got some nominations where we didn't win, but at least we were nominated and everybody noticed us. But the thrill to me is that the Outer Critics, we won above Mean Girls and above SpongeBob and all the Broadway shows, because we are the best musical. I know that sounds kind of snotty, but I mean, everybody loves our show. Nobody ever walks out. People can go in grumpy and come out happy. And it's not a silly show. It's clever, it's fun.
Let's tell them what it's about, because the show it is based on Shakespeare's Measure for Measure. They say loosely, but the play comes through really solidly when you see this. And the music and the lyrics, they are so funny. They encapsulate all the messages from the play. Let's show them some of it right away. You know what I want to show them?
Okay.
Your cast. Because your cast is sublime.
Aren't they wonderful?
They are unbelievable.
It's a love fest. They love each other and they care about each other and they help each other. It's so wonderful. I just went out and had some drinks with them after the show.
Your cast is incredible.
But the one nice thing about it is they love each other and it's a love fest. And they are so good, and even helping each other get laughs. It's just amazing. I cannot explain what a dear, lucky person I am to have them.
Yeah, and but it shows that they like each other and that they're having so much fun together, and that's what makes it contagious about watching the show. You have Connor Ryan plays Johnny Blood. Oops, here's Connor. This is him in jail. So I want to say the story's about Johnny Blood, and this is Connor Ryan. Here he is in jail. He is so charismatic. I mean,
my God.
Everybody is wonderful. But I saw this on microfiche at the library so I could vote for the Outer Critics Circle Awards, because I had missed it when it originally came in January. And I thought everybody was wonderful. But this man, when you saw him on stage, he popped like it didn't pop on television. They were all wonderful. I saw how wonderful they were and how wonderfully they played together.
I've yet to see the archive at the Performing Arts Library. We were going to go and as a group, and it never happened. And I've got to go see it.
But I know why when you have the real thing, you don't need to.
I know. I know.
Now here's the rest. Here is who plays his sister, Sarah Parnicki. Is that how? Parnicki, and Nick Wyman, who plays the judge?
Governor.
The governor.
The governor
a
of
governor
Arizona.
that is a Trump-like character,
Yeah.
isn't he? And here's the whole cast. Help me.
I know.
Help me
now,
out.
Gary, who plays the priest, he also plays the bartender and.
Gary's the one in the black,
right,
the priest.
Right. I call him the man of 1,000 faces because he can make any kind of face. He's a rubber face. He's wonderful.
He's a riot.
They're all wonderful. I mean, the nun has the most serious part. I say that she's the glue that keeps the show together. Lauren Molina is amazing. You never know what she's going to do. She is just out of the box and fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And she's very accomplished. She can play like 10 musical instruments.
And I at Sardi's, when they just recently, when you got the Broadway Alliance, Off-Broadway Alliance Award, I saw her speaking with the director, Bill Castellino. Oh, it's incredible. She's still learning stuff. She's still learning how to perfect her role.
I know. Well,
I mean,
she's a loose cannon. She's wonderful. And she and Connor Ryan, who plays Johnny Blood, they're just so terrific together. They're amazing, and they feed off each other, which is very, very exciting.
We have a clip. Let's show them the opening clip. Here's a clip that kind of sets up the
Johnny Blood, a boy condemned to die. Johnny Blood, soon they'll hang him high.
Can anybody save him? Will anybody try?
Johnny Blood, prepare yourself. Your doom is nigh. Johnny Blood, your doom is nigh. I didn't mean to kill Big Swede, but I was riled by drink. The whole thing happened in a blur. I had no time to think. Bella, she was with me, and oh, I loved her so. And that, my boys, was my mistake. That woman brought me low. Johnny Blood, a woman brought him low. She put her arms around me, she set my heart aglow. She whispered secrets in my ear. That's how she brought me low. Then Big Sweetie grabbed her rough, I told him, let her be. I knocked him down, and next I knew, his gun was aimed at me. Several shots were fired. Who shot first, I don't know. There's just one thing I'm sure of, boys. A woman brought me low. Can anybody save him? Will anybody try? Johnny Blood, prepare yourself. Your doom is Johnny Blood, a boy condemned to die. Johnny Blood, can anybody save him? Will anybody try? Johnny Blood, prepare yourself. Your doom is nigh.
That's the opening, one of the opening songs on. It sets it up.
But one thing that you don't see there is the noose that's hanging. We have a noose hanging because that's how he's going to be hung.
So let's tell them. You want to tell them a little bit of the story? What's happening there? What just happened?
Well, I'll only tell a little bit about it because I want everybody to come see it, and it's a lot of surprises. So if I tell everything, it won't be a surprise. But Johnny Blood, as you hear, he's doomed to die because he was in a brawl in a saloon over the saloon girl, and that's a nice way of putting it. And that's played by Lauren Molina, who is just the most amazing performer ever. And she and Johnny Blood, played by Connor Ryan, they have a great thing going. They're a real team, and they feed off each other. So it's so much fun watching them because every night there's a little something different. And as I see the show quite often, I can see the difference between each performance. And so much is also based on each audience is different.
Right.
And so anyway, it's just the most exciting show. So then
so what you missed though is that he's doomed to die and he could be saved if his sister will sleep with the governor.
So the sheriff comes in and he's a wonderful man who wants to find somebody who could save Johnny Blood. And the only person that Johnny could think of was his sister, who he hadn't seen in a long time. And so the sheriff tracks the sister down, and she's about to become a nun. And she's reluctant to save her brother. But then the sheriff kind of shames her into it, and she goes to save her brother. And she
attempt to save her brother.
Well, yes. And she has to go to see the governor. And the governor is a horrible man who, well, I don't want to tell you the story because you're not going to believe the whole story, and it has lots of twists and turns, and it's so funny and clever and witty, and you don't have to enjoy Shakespeare to get it. And the best audience is when we have a young audience and they get it all from the very beginning. And it's so exciting, but it doesn't matter whether you're 12 or you're 102. Everybody enjoys the show. You can go in grumpy and you come out happy. Everybody comes out happy. And it's not because it's silly. It's just very clever. And because the governor hits on the nun, it's very relevant.
And, you know, we're both so excited about the show that we forgot to mention our big stars, the writers of the show.
Yeah. It's David Friedman wrote the music, and it's glorious. And Peter Kellogg wrote the lyrics and the book, and he's very, very smart.
The lyrics are unbelievably fantastic. They're smart, they're witty, they rhyme, they're an iambic pentameter.
Yes, because it's an iambic pentameter. But it doesn't matter. I mean, what's interesting is when people suddenly, oh, it rhymes, you know, and it does. But it's not. It doesn't impede the show from going on. It actually helps the show from going on.
I didn't realize it rhymed until you told me, and then I went, oh, yes, it all rhymed. But so it totally didn't impede the show. I wasn't even conscious of it.
I know, which makes it really good. Mm-hmm. And Peter is very taciturn, and David Friedman is very gregarious and talks, and it's just very interesting, the dynamics of the both of them, and they just work so well together. And I must tell you, our CD is going to come out under Sony Masterworks, so we're very excited about that.
And these two guys have won almost every award that you could win this season, off-Broadway and competing with on-Broadway people.
Right, I know.
Their stuff is just dynamite. I have another clip I want to show them.
Okay, please.
This is with Lauren and Connor.
This is the scene.
This is one of my favorites too. I love it.
You don't love me half like I love you.
That ain't fair, and what's more, that ain't true. I slept with another guy just for you.
Shot a man and watched him die just for you.
Dressed myself up like a nun.
Sounds like you had lots of fun, but I'm in jail for what I've done just for you. You say that you love me, but you don't have a clue. Your love don't come near what I do just for you.
I stayed with that man all night just for you.
That shows that you care, all right.
Yes, it do. I was good as I could be, and I did it all for free.
They're gonna hang me from a tree just for you.
You think I don't love you? Well, darling, that ain't true. You have no idea what I do just for you.
Just for you.
Just for you.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
Just for you.
I flirt with every man in town just for you.
They're gonna stick me 6 feet down just for you.
Every night I weave a spell on my clientele.
I'll probably end up in hell just for you.
You say that you love me, but darling, let's review. You can't hold a candle to all the loving things I do, 'cause everything I ever do is just for.
I would risk my life again.
I'd sleep with 100 men, and I'd do it cheerfully.
Please don't be so good to me.
If I did, then it would be
Just for you.
I love that number.
I do, too.
It is fantastic.
Connor is able to do things with his legs that I've never seen anybody do in my
Not just
life.
his legs, his whole body.
Right. I mean, he's just amazing the way he moves. He's like rubber-legged.
Yeah, but it's all emotion too. It's just,
I know.
It's just dynamite.
But it's unlike any other performer I've ever seen. He's just amazing.
I think when I saw it on the archives, that doesn't come across as dynamic as it does on the stage.
Right.
It's big and you see it, but it's something about him.
Well,
on the
that's
stage.
why people go to live theater. There's nothing like live theater. Plus the fact that a camera can only show so much. You can't see all the other things going on. So, you know, you're limited. And also, it's the way our show flows, anything can happen. And of course, when anything goes a little bit wrong, the audience is so with the show that they applaud. They want it to go wrong. So it's very funny when I said that if I was going to produce another show, I had to be able to see it every performance. Not that I will see it every performance, that I'd have to be able to. And this is one show I can see every single performance. As I say, I don't go every night or every performance, but it's so much fun watching it. And it's a love fest.
How did you find Bill Castellino? Because he is he's created a style that they're playing this in, and I mean, and he's got all the actors on the same page. He cast this, right?
Well, we have a wonderful casting director, Kara Hansel, but Bill makes the decision.
Exactly.
Bill should be further ahead. He should be a household name, Bill Castellino. Remember that name, everybody, because he really is one of the most brilliant directors. Because when you see the show, you will understand the choices, how he even thought of these choices. There's a particular scene with the two girls in the second act that is a mirror scene that is just so brilliant. And how you could even conceive of it is just amazing. And it's collaborative. You know, the best
That's what
theater,
I love about the theater, because theater is collaborative.
and when collaboration really works, I mean, just the idea of David Friedman and Peter Kellogg writing the script and the music, and then the cast is just so superb that, and the direction, it's just all comes together. And all I can say is I'm thrilled. And everybody who sees the show loves the show, which gives me a great, I can't tell you how much happiness and joy it gives me to see people coming out. And it's not, as I say, because it's silly, it's because it is so much fun, but so clever and so witty and so relevant that it's just...
Relevant in terms of what it says about our political people.
Yes, well, it's also relevant because of the current Me Too movement, where the governor is hitting on the nun. And it's unfortunate that that's relevant today, but it's happened all along. So it's just gotten really out now, but it's been through history. So, you know, I'm a female advocate, so I have to mention all of that.
We were talking later, earlier before you came on the show, and one of the things I mentioned to you was from doing this, I realized that when people were confronted with challenges, successful people like yourself, and like you had a marriage that went south on you, it wasn't something you planned to happen, and you had to reinvent yourself, and you went into promotion.
Right.
And promotion led you eventually to the theater.
Well, also, in college, I majored in costume design and merchandising, and so...
so you had the bug already.
Right, but I didn't become a costume designer, I can't even say my first job that I was offered, which I didn't take. It was actually, it was to design costumes for a girly magazine for all nudies. And I went to a very proper college called Finch, and I was still wearing my little white gloves, and I was just in shock when I was offered that job, but I didn't take it. So that was the beginning and end of my costume design career. But actually, when in the promotion business, I did design a lot of tote bags, aprons, and all kinds of sewing machine items, including a Dayglow orange poncho, which became a big rage. And people still use Dayglow orange ponchos now, not so popular. But
So what was the catalyst that got you from the promotions to producing Little Women?
Well, according to the people who worked for me, they said I always said that I wanted to be a Broadway producer. I don't remember saying that, but apparently I did, because I did go to the theater a lot, and I was raised in Midtown New York because my mother wanted to be able to walk to the theater, and she did. She also Bon Watella's MoMA and Saks Fifth Avenue. That was the big criteria. So I spent a lot of time seeing shows when I was little, and I guess that kind of rubbed off on me, and I don't know, I had no idea how difficult producing a show is.
Yeah, well, most people wouldn't do the things they do because they knew how difficult they were ahead of time.
No, it's really difficult. But
what I was going to say, kind of interject, so your staff knew that you wanted to do this, so it was like some kind of hidden agenda that you weren't even conscious of, but something kept pulling you in that direction, right? Because you're here and you're successful.
That's a very good way of putting it, but a lot of times you don't see the forest from the trees. And I took a course called CTI, Commercial Theater Institute, and you come out of that and you think you know everything about producing, but you don't.
But that's what people think when they come out of school. They think they know everything about it.
Right, exactly.
And now you have to really learn the hard way.
Yes. It's all about relationships and knowing, and, I'm a big networker, so I love networking. I love connecting people. That's one of the joys and passions of my life, is connecting people. So I've connected myself. And I'm just lucky to have this wonderful, wonderful show. It's the best musical I've ever seen. I know to the audience they say, oh yeah, she's puffing up the show. But you have to come see it, and you'll believe what I'm saying, because it's really true. It is the best musical. Everything about it is just wonderful and perfect.
Yeah, and it's Desperate Measures, and it's playing at New World Stages, and there's a website. Is it Desperate Measures?
Yes, LLC. And it's a website, and we're also on Facebook.
No, but what's the website? What is it called?
Desperate Measures. Yes.
.com?
Yes.
So desperatemeasures.com. You can learn all about the show, see some of the videos that I just showed you. I don't know that they live there or not.
But live theater is where it's at. So.
Yes, it's dynamite. And I have one more little tease that I want to leave them with. It's one of Connor's songs, and we're just going to give them like a little bit of it.
Okay.
At the end. So here we go. This is near the end of the show, and this is Connor.
I understand your feelings, sis. I do. But try to see this from my point of view. See that herd of birds riding through the blue. Can't you hear their words calling out to you? Life is short, they sing. Still we rush and strive. For we know one thing, it's good to be alive.